Claude has quietly become one of my favorite AI tools for academic research. And honestly, I completely understand why so many researchers are switching to it in 2026. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why. We'll explore projects, skills, consensus integration, co-work, and some incredibly useful features that make Claude one of the smartest AI assistants for researchers today. But I want you to stay until the end of this video, because after using Claude for months, I discovered one missing piece that completely changed the way I do research. It turned AI from just another chatbot into a complete research workflow. I'll show you exactly what that is later in this video. If you're a student, researcher, or PhD scholar, I genuinely think you don't want to miss that part. And before we jump in, if you're interested in AI tools, smarter research workflows, and practical ways to save hours every week, make sure you're subscribed because that's exactly what we cover on this channel. Alright, let's start with Claude. So this is Claude. If you've used ChatGPT before, everything here will feel pretty familiar. You've got your chat window, model selection, file uploads, screenshots, thinking mode, and everything you'd expect from a modern AI assistant. But don't let the simple interface fool you. Some of Claude's most useful research features are hidden just beneath the surface. And the first one is probably my favorite. Projects completely changed how I use Claude. Instead of keeping dozens of random conversations, every research topic gets its own dedicated workspace. For example, one project might be your literature review, another might be your PhD thesis, another could be a journal manuscript, or maybe you're preparing a conference presentation. Every project stays separate, and that's incredibly useful. Now here's the really smart part. Inside every project, you can upload research papers, university guidelines, journal instructions, previous drafts, datasets, supplementary files. Basically everything Claude needs to understand your research. Then you write custom instructions. You explain your project once. Claude remembers it throughout that project. That means you're not repeating the same context every time you open a new conversation. It saves a huge amount of time. The next feature I think every researcher should know about is connectors, especially consensus. Instead of relying only on general AI knowledge, Claude can pull information from academic research. That makes literature reviews, evidence checking, and paper discovery much easier. Whenever I'm researching a new topic, consensus is usually one of the first places I go. Claude brings that workflow much closer together. It's fast, practical, and surprisingly useful. Skills are another feature I completely underestimated. Think of them as reusable research workflows. Instead of writing the same prompts every single day, Claude remembers the process. Literature reviews, data analysis, summarization, paper critiques, grant writing. Once you've built a workflow, you can use it again and again. For researchers who repeat similar tasks every week, this becomes a massive productivity boost. Then we have co-work, and this is where Claude becomes much more than a chatbot. Instead of answering one prompt, Claude starts planning the work. It researches, writes, reviews, improves, and asks for approval whenever you want. Watching it build a literature review is genuinely impressive. It feels less like asking questions and more like working alongside another researcher. So after using all of these features, I asked myself something. If Claude is this good, why was I still wasting time managing my research? Because something was still missing. My PDFs were somewhere else. My notes were somewhere else. My literature review lived inside Word. My references were in another application. My AI conversations slowly disappeared into old chats. Claude was helping me think, but it wasn't where my research actually lived. And that's when my workflow completely changed. Open Multilo. This is Multilo. At first glance, it looks like another AI platform. But after using it, I realized it's solving a completely different problem. Claude is an excellent AI assistant. Multilo is a complete research workspace. Instead of opening a blank chat every day, I open my project. My papers are already here. My notes are connected. My previous AI conversations are still available. My literature review stays inside the same workspace. My assignments, my drafts, my references. Everything stays connected. That's the difference I didn't realize I needed. Import papers into the library. Let's say I discovered 10 new papers using consensus. Instead of downloading them and forgetting where I saved them, they become part of my research workspace. Now I can ask questions across all of them, compare findings, generate summaries, identify research gaps, draft literature review sections, build assignments, and continue exactly where I left off yesterday. The AI isn't starting over. My research is already organized. So, is Claude still one of my favorite AI tools? Absolutely. I use it almost every day. Projects, skills, consensus, and co-work are genuinely excellent. But here's what changed for me. I stopped looking for a smarter chatbot. I started looking for a smarter research workflow. Claude helps me answer questions. Multilo helps me build research.
Claude helps me think.
Multilo helps me organize, connect, and finish my work. That's why I haven't replaced Claude. I've simply changed where my research lives. And, honestly, that has probably been the biggest productivity upgrade I've made this year. If you're serious about research, I think it's worth trying both and deciding which role each tool plays in your own workflow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.